Well, the Prime Minister has laid out her beliefs on economic policy, attempting to demonstrate that she too is a fiscal conservative. Julia Gillard has promised to fully fund any election sweeteners this year in what she says will be a lean campaign. Well, the opposition has matched the pledge, but Tony Abbott says the government's claims are unbelievable. The major set-piece speech at the Press Club was overshadowed by new questions about the way Ms Gillard came to power. From Canberra, Hayden Cooper reports.
Not relaxed and comfortable, but Julia Gillard has an idea of the mood she wants under her Prime Ministership.
I would want Australians to feel confident, optimistic and ready to go forward.
Outside, climate protesters were begging her to move forward.
Get real on climate, Julia!
Dumping a load of coal on the Press Club's driveway. But this presentation to the nation was rooted not in the environment, but in economics.
Yes, the upcoming campaign will have strong elements of clean and green, but it will be very, very lean.
It's the promise made by every leader seeking the nation's approval.
A number of people have described me as an economic conservative. When it comes to public finance, it's a badge I wear with pride.
This time it's a pledge to protect the budget bottom line.
Those expecting an old-style, spend-up big campaign can forget it. Any commitments made in the upcoming campaign will not add a single cent, not a cent, to the budget bottom line.
OK.
And she's using another favourite political line against her opponent.
I say to the Australian people, now is not the time to take risks with the Australian economy.
We can win this election, there's no doubt about that.
For a moment, Tony Abbott had his response all wrong.
We will move back into deficit much more strongly than the government, because we will move back into surplus much more strongly than the government.
But he soon had another go.
Look, when it comes to families that are facing cost of living pressure and mortgage stress, I don't think they are feeling like they're moving forward at all. I think the best way for people in that position to move forward is for Labor to move out.
Hello, how are you? Hi, good to see you.
Half a world away, Kevin Rudd is acting as if he is still Prime Minister, meeting the UN Secretary-General in New York. But his shadow hung over the National Press Club address. Veteran journalist Laurie Oakes claims the former Prime Minister struck a deal with Julia Gillard on the night of the coup, that he would resign if polling didn't improve by later this year. Oakes says Ms Gillard at first accepted the agreement, but later...
When the meeting resumed, you said you'd changed your mind, you'd been informed that he didn't have the numbers in caucus and you're going to challenge anyway.
It brought a steely no comment.
I'm going to disappoint you by not looking back. I've made it very, very clear that I will never be speaking publicly about my discussions with Kevin Rudd on that night.
Plainly, the Prime Minister has a bit of explaining to do about what her exact role in the events of that night were.
These were not decisions I came to easily or lightly.
When Labor leaders go down, not even years can heal the wounds or remove the bitterness. Just ask Bob Hawke and Paul Keating. Unlike recent bloodletting, this is a feud that even entertains Julia Gillard. The two former leaders are back in the front line of political debate.
Bob Hawke and Paul Keating.
After Paul Keating's excoriating letter to his old rival, angry that he gets a raw deal in the new Hawke biography.
I'd have to say, as someone with an intense interest in politics, I'm enjoying it.
She's not the only one. Hayden Cooper, Late Line.